How would you like to make 2019 your best year ever? The year where you make things happen and you have a ton of fun along the way. That's what we're going to cover in this episode. We'll talk about how to not only set goals this year, but how to kickstart your goals in January and make 2019 the best year ever. You're listening to the Positively Delighted Show, episode number 22. Welcome to the Positively Delighted Show. I'm your host, Kelsey Henry, and in this podcast, we'll be creating a positive mindset through inspirational interviews, music, stories, and exercises for building happy habits. Welcome to the Positively Delighted Show, everyone. I hope you had the happiest of holiday seasons and you are now getting set into your routines for this new year. It's officially 2019, and this next year is full of potential and opportunity and unknowns. It can be either exciting or overwhelming to think that we have a whole new year ahead of us. It all depends on the way you look at it. Whenever I find myself in a new beginning, I feel it fitting to quote the great Hunter Hayes. In his song, Nothing Like Starting Over, he says, "There's nothing like starting over. There's nothing like shedding a heartache, writing a new page, say what you want to say. There's nothing like a heart wide open, that bittersweet comfort of knowing you can let go, take the weight off your shoulders. There's nothing like starting over." At some point in 2018, you may have had heartaches. I know I did. Things that didn't work out like I planned, a relationship that ended with much heartbreak. And whatever that heartache was for you this year, lean into that bittersweet comfort of knowing that you can let go and take the weight off your shoulders. This is a new year. It's your year. To focus on 2019, we must leave 2018 behind. Remember all the good things that happened, and be happy because more good things are coming your way. Also, be grateful for the bad things, and remember the lessons that you learned. Then let the past be in the past. Today, we are following the words of Hunter Hayes. We are writing our new page and saying what we want to say. We're going to set beautiful goals and kickstart those goals to make 2019 the best year ever. Many of the goal-setting strategies we're going to talk about today come from my very wise and productivity-talented friend, Alyssa Padgett, who was in episode number 3 about how to create a plan that brings your dreams to life. If you haven't checked that episode out, go back and listen to it for more awesome goal-setting advice. She's amazing. On New Year's Day, I went over to see Alyssa and her husband Heath, and we had a 9-hour goal-setting party. Yeah. That's right. I said 9 hours. Why so long? Well, one, because we were having a ton of fun with it and just enjoying good conversation and reflection. And two, Alyssa is a serious planner and made all of us spreadsheets to track and plan our lives this year. Bless you, Alyssa. So based on what we did at our goal setting party, here are my tips for kickstarting your goals to make 2019 the best year ever. First, make goal setting an event. Before we even get into the actual goal-setting activities, we need to hype the energy around goal setting. Even if you love planning, you may not always love reviewing your goals, especially if you feel behind on achieving them. This is why we had a goal-setting party. We did not simply write down our goals. We made it an event with friends and food and activities. Everything is way more exciting when you make a big deal out of it. And you can turn anything into a party, even reviewing or making goals on your own. Instead of simply sitting down to write your goals, you could put on a great music playlist. Slow songs for reflection, upbeat songs for goal setting, with dance breaks in between tasks. You could make some tasty snacks and drink your favorite tasty beverage while goal setting. You could go somewhere really beautiful and pack yourself a picnic. You could sit down at your favorite coffee shop with a latte in hand. Or you could invite over some friends and do goal-setting activities like make vision boards, write bucket lists, and create your own affirmations for the year. Keep this in mind when you're creating your goals in January and also when you're reviewing your goals throughout the year. This is your life. This should be fun. Next, we're going to focus on gratitude. To really concentrate on 2019 and get into the right mindset, start with having gratitude for all the wonderful and the not so wonderful things that happened in 2018. Ask yourself some of these questions. What am I grateful for about 2018? What are some really good things that happened? What heartaches or challenges did I overcome this year, and what did I learn from them? And what would I like to see more of in my life this next year? Be grateful for who you were in 2018 and let it be. Now let's decide who you're going to be in 2019. Okay, let's start this goal setting process. Next, we're going to set a framework for the year, and we will do this by setting 3 values for 2019. We will use these values to create our goals and make decisions. The values I chose this year are financial stability/freedom, travel, and growth in personal and business. It felt weird to make my number 1 value this year about financials. But if I didn't, I wouldn't be prepared to do all of the really fun things I want to do this year. I spent a lot of my savings last year because I invested in my album, music and lyrics, travel, and personal growth opportunities and certifications. I'm so happy to have my album, my travel memories, and my certifications. And now that I've invested in those areas of my life, I need to prioritize investing back into my finances. And having these values in place will be so helpful this year when you're making decisions in all areas of your life. For example, if I have the opportunity to go on a trip, I'll ask myself, would I rather go on this trip or have that X amount of money, the cost of the trip, in my savings right now? Based on where I'm at with my finances, I can then decide to either go on the trip and spend the money, not go on the trip and save the money, or find a third option, which is probably make that much extra money so I can go on the trip. Think about what these values for the year will be for your life. And here are a few ideas to get you thinking. You could choose financial stability, travel, clarity and direction, family, personal growth, starting a business, growing a business. Your values can be a word, a phrase, or a feeling that you just really desire to have in your life. After you choose your 3 values, rank them in first, second, and third order. This may change throughout the year, but the order is important in decision making. Next, we're going to look at goals in 5 areas of your life: financial, personal growth, health and fitness, relationships, and business. Start by setting 2 to 3 annual overarching goals for each of these areas. And here are a few examples. For financials, you may choose to make X amount of money a month, put X amount of money in savings, pay off X amount of debt. For personal growth, you might want to read 25 books this year, go on a solo trip, or start a meditation habit. For health and fitness, maybe you want to try a gluten-free diet for 30 days, walk for 15 minutes a day, or run a marathon. For relationships, you might want to go on a girls' trip, have a weekly date night, or have X amount of family time each week. For career or business, you might want to start a business, create another source of income, or get a promotion at work. Okay, now we're going to start breaking down these goals. So now that you have your main goals for each area, we're going to break down what you're going to do in the next 3 months or first quarter of the year. Realistically, what can you accomplish by the end of March in each of these areas? Then work backwards to write down what you need to accomplish each month to reach that goal. For example, to save $3,000 by the end of March, you'll need to put $1,000 a month in savings in January, February, and March. To try a gluten-free diet for 30 days by the end of March, you'll need to research the diet and meal plan at least 30 days before the end of March. Some goals will be short-term, such as trying a 30-day diet, and some will be long-term, such as saving X amount of money this year. Use your values and your schedule to determine what goals you will work towards during Q1 and what goals you will actually complete. Once you've done this first part of the year, you can work on breaking down your goals and action steps for Q2, April through June, Q3, July through September, and Q4, October through December. then get to work on completing those action steps. Some final thoughts here. Now that you've set up your goals, I have a few tips for how to kickstart your progress on all the great things you want to do this year. And this is where it starts to really get fun. Create rewards. Identify some type of reward to go with each of your goals. This will give you something to look forward to and to work towards. This may be something that you'll do for yourself when you reach a goal, or maybe the end result of achieving your goal. For me, I want financial stability, but having X amount of money in my savings account is not nearly as exciting as thinking about the trailer I want to buy when I've saved up enough money. Anytime I think about spending money, I think about my trailer and how much I want to buy it in cash with plenty of savings left over. Instead of just a number in my bank account, now it's a vision that I can work towards. Give yourself some quick wins. If you really want to kickstart your goals this year, start by knocking out some goals in the first month of the year. I'm talking right now. We're going to take a similar approach here to Dave Ramsey's debt snowball method, but with goals. If you're not familiar with a debt snowball, it's when you organize your debt smallest to largest. You do whatever possible to get the money to pay off that first debt immediately. Have a garage sale, get a second job, etc. Then you put the money you were paying on that first debt every month on the next largest debt, thereby snowballing your debt payoff. And we're going to do that, but with goal setting. And instead of organizing your goals smallest to largest, I want you to think of the goal that will have the largest impact on the rest of your year. The one that would help you snowball your momentum. This is the goal that would make 2019 pretty awesome if you knocked it out in January. Most likely, this will be a goal tied to your number one value that also impacts the other two values in a positive way. For me, this was launching an Etsy shop of digital printables to help others create a positive mindset. This goal creates another source of income that will grow over time, which contributes to my financial stability and freedom value. It's also all digital products, which allows me to travel and have a flexible schedule, and it forces me to grow my business and personal comfort zones, contributing to my growth value. So I have officially launched my Etsy shop. And from idea to launch, this goal took me 3 weeks to complete. So if I had started it on January 1st, I still could have completed it this month. It was 3 all-consuming, intense, put a lot of other things on the back burner weeks to complete, but it's now officially launched in the first month of the year. And now that I've taken the time to set it up for success and grow throughout the year, I can maintain it, while also using my time now to snowball the momentum on other goals. So what is that goal for you? What goal can you hustle on these next few weeks to complete that will also benefit the rest of your goals this year? Next, we're going to track your progress and review. This is a step that I have very much overlooked in the past, but is so important. If you don't write down what you're doing, you'll forget what you did. Write down all the tasks you do associated with your goal, then go back and review it often. You might find that a small percentage of tasks are making huge progress towards your goal. You'll want to write these down so that you can go back and do more of these. And finally, we're going to celebrate. Celebrate every step of the way. Celebrate that you made it to the end of this podcast episode. Celebrate that you're going to have a pretty amazing year, full of clear direction and opportunities. Make every step and achievement a celebration party. Shout this affirmation from the rooftops. 2019 is going to be the best year ever. Good luck to you with all of your goal setting, and I can't wait to see what this year holds for you. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Positively Delighted Show. Be sure to head over to positivelydelighted.com to get the show notes for this episode. If you like the show so far and you've been learning a lot from the content, I would love if you could go to iTunes or your favorite podcast listening app and leave a review. You would be my favorite person ever. Thank you so much again, and I hope you have a positively delighted day. See you next time.